online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
There it is. Oh yeah, I like the show bit.
Oh yeah.
That's how we do it here, guys.
Oh my God, Steve's doing the shoulders. What happened to the head bob?
It's the season finale. I think I can get into something a little different. Hey everybody, it is 4:00 Western time here at AfterBuzz TV. We are doing the Suits after show. If you're listening to my voice through iTunes and the iCloud for our podcast, please rate, subscribe, like us, 5 stars, all those fun things. If you're listening to me on the SoundCloud, which is where my mind got confused earlier, also do that. Also like us, subscribe us, share us. And if you're watching us live on AfterBuzzTV.com, thank you so much. I'll drop by the chat roll, see what you have to say. And if you're watching our faces on YouTube, also thank you. Like, subscribe, share. Now that I've talked the whole room down.
Hi guys.
I normally don't drone on like that. Stacey Ike's not with us this week.
Oh.
But we're still full strength. We have Nicholas Grava with us.
I'm so
Where
excited
can people
to be
find
here.
you, Nick?
Hey guys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Nicholas Grava.
Hey guys, Lauren Ebersol here. You can find me on Twitter at The Fancy Hippie.
Hey guys, it's Nicole Brajer, and you can find me at Nicole Brajer, and be sure to hashtag ABTVSuits
Thank
for
you.
tonight.
That's the one I forgot
Hashtag.
after all that.
I've got your back, Steve.
This is the season finale of season 4, episode 16.
Yeah.
We got a lot of things.
So many things.
I liked it.
So many things I didn't even know I wanted.
And be honest about what you want and you don't want there.
What did you want?
I did, I always kind of liked the idea of Harvey and Donna together, but then I kind of just buried it and didn't really care whether or not it happened. And then they went and brought it up again, and I thought, oh, well, this is a great idea. It's a terrible idea, but it's a great idea.
Team Dorothy.
And then they crushed my like 2-episode dream.
Can you believe none of us predicted that Donna would assist Lewis in this episode?
That wasn't.
Can you believe none of us
I
predicted
didn't see that happening though.
Really?
I don't see how. Did anybody predict that?
There was
even on
some
the chat?
foreshadowing.
I think
There was some foreshadowing, and we missed that, guys.
like close to a year ago when I started covering the show, I would say that I think Donna and Lewis would wind up together. Like,
Isn't
As
that
a
weird?
as
like,
a couple.
like romantically.
He thought they were going to
Wow.
romantically end up
And
together,
every now and
which is
again,
weird.
I'll still
That would be
get
one weird
so
ginger-looking cave.
Every now and again, I still
Like,
get it. Every now and again, I still get a
True
tweet
that.
about it. I still get a tweet about it with like, Steve, you're so wrong.
So wrong.
So wrong. It's never gonna happen.
So wrong.
But I'm kind of there,
I think I was the one that said I wanted it, and you all were like, no.
and I was probably just quiet because I knew I've been.
I think
I've been there before.
I hear a lot of feedback, and most of the fans don't like this. They think it's like a cop out. Like, let's just end the season with Donna and Harvey like being in love. Just like kind of like an easy thing to add in the mix instead of being a little more creative. They just fell on that.
So
But is that more creative? Because we've done the whole, they can't do it, they can't be together, Harvey can never really feel that. We've done that. So it almost would be new and different if they ended up together.
I agree. I thought that's sort of where it was going to go, and that's why I was excited for it. So when it didn't go that way, I was really surprised that they would do that to
I
us.
feel it would be a little easy for it to go that way because it would
Really?
it would either go like one of 3 ways. One way is they completely ignore it. And he writes it off as like, oh, I mean, like a sister, like I would love a person in general.
Yeah.
2, they would like never bring it up again at all. Or 3, they fall madly in love with each other.
Do you think that she's going to Lewis because she wants to end up with him, and this is the way
No.
that they can
No,
be together?
honestly, that's how I was just. Don't say no. I was.
Oh,
really
sorry, I thought she was
justifying
talking
it like
about with
that.
Lewis.
Oh,
I thought she was
no.
talking about her ending up with
I was
Lewis.
like,
No,
this
this
breaks
is
my
crazy.
heart right now.
Okay.
Yeah, no, because I think that they're just planting the seed because this is one of those things that we see once the show ends for good. No more seasons. We're kaput. I think then that allows the chance fans for Donna and Harvey to eventually end up together.
Yeah.
So,
they're leaving that open, whereas
I haven't
the other
put
two options,
Darby to
you
rest.
don't. You're still Team Darby? You're still ready for it?
Yeah, why not?
After,
I am too. I'm with you on that.
After 2 weeks,
same.
you ready?
Yeah,
That's
I'm easy.
what I did like about this episode is we literally join Harvey immediately after last week's episode. He's getting in the car, headed back to his apartment. He only wound up in the lobby of a building. It didn't look like...
I think it was
like
the
he
office.
Was he headed to the office?
He said to him, "Why are you here in my office?"
Then he was headed to the office, and he runs into Forstman, who we haven't seen this entire half of the season.
No, he runs into Cahill.
Cahill, sorry. That's the name not on the board. Cahill. He runs into...
Neil McDonough. I love me some
love
Neil
it.
McDonough.
he
Beautiful blue eyes.
runs into Cahill,
Kind
who
of
they
like
have
you,
a...
Steve.
Hey.
I do.
You got those blue eyes. You too.
Runs into Cahill. Cahill needs some help.
I was surprised to see in the beginning when they were showing like what was to happen in the episode in the beginning of it. When I saw like they were going back into old storylines, I was wondering why, because I was like, why are they trying to sum this up
And
again?
what I
and
did,
clearly...
I thought about that initially, and then I remembered they break the seasons up into 2 parts.
Yeah.
So this is the season finale of season 4, and that was the biggest
I
story.
kept going, what money? Oh, right.
That was
Yeah,
the biggest
You had to
story
kind of
in
figure it
season
out.
4, but they resolved it in the first half of season 4.
I'm surprised that we got the flashbacks without being notified of the flashbacks, because I
Yes.
feel like every time they do a flashback episode in the next on segment, we always see like
I
a
did
blast
like that.
from the
They
past.
didn't let us know that a flashback
Yeah.
was happening.
No.
I'm sure they've done this before, but this is the first time I can recall that they do a flashback. They do a flashback, but it's not the whole episode, where it's just one person's flashback, and then everything else is present. Like, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, we got a flashback episode where we were flashing back the whole
Everyone.
way.
Yeah.
And there was
Yeah.
no present, but like... Here, there was a flashback telling one story concurrently with a flashback telling a whole other story.
Right.
I like it much better that way, though.
Yeah.
I do. I think it flows. A lot of times when a show starts a whole episode with like flashbacks, I'm sort of just like, really? We're gonna just like do a prequel?
It feels like they're almost taking a break, even
Yeah.
though they're not. It's probably more work for
Right.
them, but it
Yeah.
feels like they're just taking a break from the plot for a while.
Yeah, I agree.
But how fun was it to see the Harvey and Donna initial meeting?
I've been waiting.
And we
Loved it.
also
Yeah,
we
you said
talked
that.
about this, about what did Donna really want in the beginning? And it's true, she wanted to
Harvey.
be an actress, and yeah, she wanted Harvey.
Yeah.
So that
Harvey.
was
Well, but-
fun to watch.
Although if she wanted Harvey, I think she could have had Harvey. She wanted to be an actress, and she already knew she was a unique enough person that had... So she ultimately wanted to be on someone like Harvey's desk while she could pursue whatever
Right.
else she was pursuing.
Yeah.
But slowly that became a career, it looks like.
Right.
And I love she goes, "Today's your lucky day because you get to meet Donna."
I wrote that down
Yeah.
too. That's...
So amazing.
Also,
Right?
we did get a little clarification in this flashback that she said, "I know you're going back to Gordon Schmidt and Van Dyke," which would be the name of the law firm before Jessica Pearson took it over alongside
Right.
all the other names. The law firm existed long before any of the characters we know, and that's important,
Yeah.
at least for me. And
Yeah.
and my like note taking.
Yeah.
So, the SEC gentleman whose name's escaping me because I didn't write it on the board.
Eric.
Cahill.
Cahill.
Or are you talking about Whitall?
No,
You're talking about Cahill, right?
Cahill
Neil
said-
McDonough?
Yes, Cahill says he needs to find the money between Forstman and Woodall in 5 days, or the whole case goes up in smoke. He probably loses his clout within the SEC, and that's the main storyline for this episode. That we're gonna follow both forward and backward.
Yeah, and see a little bit of Harvey's past.
Which
with
I think
Forstman.
was nice to see. Like, I was excited to see Harvey's past, especially, did it surprise any of you guys that, like, Harvey, to be Harvey and function how he does every day, I'm like, this guy must have done some things in the past to get him here. So I was excited for them to reveal that clearly.
Yeah,
in
and
this.
the whole thing with his brother, I liked that added,
I thought it was a bit abrupt.
I would agree.
Right? When we saw the brother and he was like, all of a sudden, he needs the money. But I thought it was cool that we saw the little bit of Harvey almost naive at the time,
Right.
I would say.
Yeah.
Especially in regards to his brother, which, listen, it ended up working out really well in the end. But that thought of, no, it's going to be different this time. I just know it. And you could see that sort of innocence in his eyes where Jessica's like, no, that's not how this works. So that was a cool thing to see how he sort of has grown, or has his personality has been shaped through his experiences.
I think it also helps to show that he's a guy who came from nothing, and then he has a brother
Made $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
It's good to remember that part of him because
Yes,
we are so
it
used
is.
to the Harvey powerful walking into his unbelievably nice apartment and like living this crazy life. So
I didn't realize at first we were in a flashback when he was initially talking to his brother, and he was like, "I only make $50,000 a year," and I was like, "Liar!
That would be sad.
I've seen your apartment."
Yeah, but let's talk about Forstman's house.
Oh man!
wow.
But was that
Where
big?
is
Was that a
that?
TV
Where
or
is
was
that
that a
house?
mirror?
In the,
Do you know what I'm
in the
talking
living
about?
It
room.
might have
Yeah.
been a TV. I think
Yeah,
it's a TV.
yeah, because
think it was
remember
a
he's
TV,
watching
he was-
the movie,
yeah,
and then
watching
Oh,
at
that's
the
right.
end of the
Because he was watching
episode,
Wall Street.
and then he makes
Right.
that reference about
the
Wall Street.
Yeah.
Wall Street reference was
Which we'll
great.
get to. I have so many notes. I'm like,
I
Yeah.
have so many notes, and a lot of
jumping
people like
around.
to go beat by beat, and I'm trying not to go beat by beat.
yeah.
So we're trying to stay on the topic of the Forstman Woodall, and Mike and Rachel have to team up to work on this case.
Which I love,
I love that,
because Rachel
and
always
I love
comes
how
out on top.
and I love how standard that was for the episode that we didn't get to see what was coming, which I guess we'll end on. We'll end on
And
that.
she wanted respect.
Yes.
Because she said as soon as Mike came back, Harvey all of a sudden, because they have such
Forgot
a
about her.
relationship, they're
Yeah.
like brothers, so Rachel kind of got pushed to the side. But there was so much more going on than what she realized, because we had all of this shame, as Mike calls it, that he had with his brother back
Right.
when he initially was hooking up. I guess we call it hooking up with Forstman. So it was cool to see Rachel just kind of come into her power with the whole situation.
I don't blame her wanting that respect from
No, I
Harvey
don't
at
either.
all. I
Because
think
she
it's
saves
just-
Mike woman, too.
She saves Mike a lot. Like, especially in the last couple episodes, she always has that one idea for
Yeah.
Mike to go, oh yeah,
Yes,
I
they
didn't
always
realize
have that
that.
moment,
And it's like,
yeah.
But she always does it in a really sexy way too. You know,
and she always
she's like,
looks
"Did you ever
good
think of
doing
this?"
it.
And
Exactly.
especially growing up the way she did, that like she could just be handed something at her dad's law firm, and she doesn't want that. She wants to be at this law firm and earn everything, and was a paralegal there forever. That like she's gonna get that respect, and
Yeah.
she's earning that respect.
I got a prediction for later about her, which I did. I did.
I didn't have it. I don't have any.
I've
That's
got
gonna be
one.
so much fun.
I've got one.
So
We'll talk about it later.
Mike and Rachel
Oh
working
my
together.
God.
Harvey working together. Mike and Rachel ultimately decide that the easiest way would be to have Harvey fess up to whatever his money is,
And he says, "Do your goddamn job." Hell no.
which goddamn always necessary in this show. Do your goddamn job.
I like that they walked out though. After that, there was no argument. It was like, all right,
All right, that's
then
fair.
we will.
I think it was a really real moment because I think that's how a lot of sometimes like when I see the banter back and forth, I'm like, would somebody under them really push that hard on something? And sometimes I think no, but I think that was really real.
And it was
Yeah.
And it was a certain level of, you knew at that level you didn't want to know what it was, like where this
Would
money
have
came
never
from.
ever thought about like Rachel's idea going to see the outside source. Like
Nope.
I would have never thought, oh, is when we try to predict what they're going to come up with. I was lost. I was like, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
And
And
of course,
they
Rachel.
ultimately find out what Forstman has on Woodall is an ex-wife.
His first wife.
Yeah,
First
his first
wife.
wife. And it's
Yeah.
always somebody like close, just like
Yeah.
with Harvey.
They were like
Yeah.
high school sweethearts.
High school sweetheart.
6 months, marriage annulled, but still an important person in his life.
She's 55 years old and has early onset of
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's, and she's at a round-the-clock care facility, paid for in cash. That to out that money would be to take her out of that facility. So
Right.
that's a dead end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, they have to say something about it because here's this. It's important. It's
Yeah.
important to the case. It was shady the way it ended up there, but Rachel gets very emotional about it because she says, my mom's 55. I can't. How by doing this, we're taking this care away from this woman. So she had hit an emotional nerve with that one.
And yeah, Harvey tries his way, which is to go to Jersey for produce.
That was a Trader
way.
Joe's,
Yeah.
right? I think that was a Trader Joe's.
That would be great if it were Trader Joe's.
Pretty sure.
There are very few
It's not
Trader.
like palm trees.
In,
There's
in
like-
Jersey, there's not many.
There's like 4 or 5
Yeah.
in the whole state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to one of them. They're awesome. Still, it's Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
And goes there, threatens him a little, does his Harvey way,
Yeah.
and then immediately gets called out on it by Cahill.
Which I knew would happen. I knew that
Yeah.
was not going to work, but I was like, if you're Harvey in that position, you feel like emotionally forced to do something. You're not just going to sit there if you don't have any reason. He's a very like action kind of guy.
And
That bagel stand though, because I know they film in Toronto, but I'm from New York, and that was a really good New York setup with a bagel stand, and I was like, just want one of them bagels.
There's not many good bagel places around here.
There's none. Oh, don't get me into that. I agree.
Now we're getting off subject.
Okay, that was the case.
This isn't a podcast. We should talk about.
Are we hungry?
We're just talking about bagel places in New York.
So,
Yeah.
I thought that's all we were going to do today.
oh.
Can we jump and talk about Donna and Lewis real quick?
Yes. Yes.
Let's just. We should tie up the whole main one, and then we'll just jump back
Alrighty.
down. I'm the guy from the. Where should we? Because I'm sorry for being so confused, but it is two different stories. I should have. Because this is also a flashback.
Well, do we want to jump into how the Forstman deal ends?
How the Forstman deal ends. In an homage to Wall Street. Mm-hmm. Harvey decides to wear a wire for Cahill, the one man in the SEC that isn't in Forstman's pocket.
Yeah. And they made a point to say that, and I was like,
Yeah.
so happy.
I know when I was watching the end of it and they're in the office together, I'm like, come on. We can't drag this storyline out for another season. And there wasn't much time left. So I thought that was what was going to happen. And then when McDonough comes in, Big Guns got the wire. So satisfying.
Did you guys see that happening, like, as he's talking in the office? My mind never went there.
No,
But someone who was a fan of the film Wall Street probably might have been able to tie.
I'm a fan of the film Wall Street, but I honestly didn't think too much about it because I also know that at the time Wall Street came out, people in finance were actually like schlubs, like dress-wise and style-wise. That movie actually informed the way that style went for the rest of the time, similar to how like Goodfellas and Godfather made people more family-oriented in organized crime, when before that it was the opposite. It was every man for themselves. That's a little film fact from Steve. So I was actually a little taken aback that I like The Wire.
Do you think he would be the kind of person to ever do that to somebody?
Harvey?
Yeah,
Harvey would be especially as deep ingrained.
Because that's kind of dirty. It's kind of like
it is dirty, but I think Harvey's the type of guy that at the end of the day he'll do what it takes. But I agree. It is a little bit against his character, I'm sure.
But that's still for the greater good. Right. You know, at the end of the day, Harvey's a good guy. And Forstman is like the devil himself. Yeah. So putting that guy away, they did it in a legal way. I thought it was
he's not going to get away with it, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so scared for the future. Of Harvey with that guy, because who knows
him away or not.
Yeah, I just feel like he can, being away, like still get to Harvey through
the inside.
No, I think we're done with Forstman for a while.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh, that's Big Bad. Harvey finally took down the biggest, baddest,
the big
the
bad
skeleton
wolf
in his closet. Unless there's more. Does the brother still have a restaurant? We don't know.
I wanted him to say, like, how's the restaurant, like, on his ending call.
I don't think we're going to see the brother again. I think it's done.
I have to say, I was kind of, like, back to what you said, I was a little bit aggravated in a way. I feel like they were just on, like, pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Like, there's so many storylines and different things they could have brought in that they've referenced before. Why write in this new...
Because it was convenient.
They referenced the brother once or twice.
And it was a personal...
I guess that's
Harvey,
true,
just like the personal, you know, the wife with Alzheimer's. So you have to have
keep the board.
And I feel like I also feel like if Marcus's restaurant had succeeded, Harvey would be there all the time. So I feel like the restaurant didn't succeed, but it acted as a second chance for Marcus, who has a wife and
family now.
Who has a wife and kids, and his life is on track. That Harvey doesn't want to do anything to screw that up, and call him apparently.
Well, that call was just to justify that there's nobody going after him
that too.
in secret, and that's why I'm saying I'm worried for the future, like, because maybe something's going to happen with his brother, down the line.
Forstman's going to try to cut it. Forstman's going to try to cut a deal, and then that doesn't seem. If that were to happen, it seems like it would have happened this week. I feel like we're not going to.
I don't know.
I feel like this might be tied up.
I could see that coming back.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Donna.
Okay.
Donna. I think we're all on the panel team Darby. Correct?
Yeah.
We're all on board for this.
Stacy whispered to us after the show last week, though. Sorry, Stacy, I'm throwing you under the bus, but that she was not Team Darby.
She
She was like, she was a little
Lauren reacted just like that.
Yeah,
which was funny because she was here and it was a week ago.
Oh my God, is it bad that I don't remember?
Stacey's like, Nicole, the fans are gonna kill me. but I saw her point of view.
Yes.
And that's what I said in the beginning. You know, just like it might have just been a way to get the storyline to continue.
And Donna, throughout the course of this episode, straight up asks Harvey, what did you mean by you love me?
Oh, he shot her down so quick, and I would have been so upset. You know,
when you said I wanted to make you feel better.
Yeah, I would have been. Excuse me. And he's like, oh, that came out wrong, and it's like you gotta get your words right.
I think I went.
That's literally what I did. That was like wrong answer, buddy.
I know that was the opposite of what I wanted him to say at the time, but can we all just appreciate her acting? And I mean, continually, Donna is amazing, but like in that scene again, I was like, wow, look at you. Like, it was an amazing
When she said,
scene.
you have everything. Like, I don't want your pity. And she was like, she made such a great point. And I was like, okay, good comeback. You got this covered.
Yeah. And it was great. Yeah, because he said, we have everything. Why mess it? And she's like, no, you do.
Yeah.
You have everything. I'm your assistant.
Yeah.
And to say that you love me and then to just completely back down, what do you think is going to happen to me?
Yeah.
But instead of, what I do like about this episode is instead of them just having the time to just have it out in like 2 scenes, Donna finds out from Lewis, Norma died. I think.
Here we go.
Oh wow, that's cute.
Wow.
These have Mickey Mouse ears on them, so it's a little weird. Sorry
make it
for
a
Norma.
It's like celebrating, but
But
not.
I'm mourning, guys. I'm mourning. I'm mourning Norma. We never even got to see her.
I know.
Norma is probably one of the more beloved, never cast characters in the history of television.
I love how he like describes her in his speech, and we're like, oh, that's what she's like. I actually pictured that kind of
It was very
wholesome, like woman that really has nothing on the outside, but then he realizes, you know, she was everything to him, and just kind of plays the part with Harvey and Donna too. Like I don't know what the word would be to show how they're trying to make this appreciation Lewis like realized that he had for Norma after she passed, and Harvey's realizing it as it plays out with everything that's happening with Donna.
Well, yeah, it was an interesting contrast because here we're dealing with the Harvey and Donna situation of him saying, I love you. What exactly does that mean? How does he love her? When we hear this whole time about how Lewis loved Norma.
Right.
So is it secretarial love?
Oh, yeah.
Is that it? Is it? Are they the same type of love? Is it deeper? It was like an interesting little balance.
It's like
that was
that secretarial love / you can tell that Lewis loves Donna.
Yes.
Like
Well,
loves
yeah.
her.
Oh God.
And we
This
know
is-
that Harvey does too, but Lewis, it is a different kind of love in my opinion.
When Lewis was giving, when Lewis was giving his speech to Norma's, like when they were having the thing for her, and when he said, like, you know, when Rachel and Mike started holding hands, I wanted Harvey to like at least look to Donna,
Yeah.
do something to Donna, something.
You're such a hopeless romantic.
Yeah,
I love
come
it.
on, shoot! I was just left hanging.
That's
How he
a-
cried though at the end.
I
don't know
wanted
if
him
to
to
talk
run
about it,
after her,
because
but
I
he
I was like,
didn't.
he's crying.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Lewis having a breakdown at the urn place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Which-
man.
The funny,
Talking to Donna like
but
she's
the funny,
Yeah.
but I love the funny.
what is going on?
I love the funny moment of Donna. You need to be the bad cop here.
Yeah.
And then he like flips out on them more than like a person should flip out on a
Yes.
sales floor. And like she has to be the bad cop. How does that work?
Yeah.
And it's like you and your sister and your Murder She Wrote episodes. I was like, I don't think Donna watches Murder She Wrote. And then I was like, oh, I get
I
it
just
now.
love how she was like, I'm not Norma. It was such a dramatic scene. I was like, all right, this doesn't happen.
I actually thought of you during that scene. I thought of you, Nicole, because
thought
I'm
of
pretty
me?
sure you were gonna start hashtag Emmy for Rick Kaufman.
Oh, yeah, right.
Hashtag Emmy for.
I wrote LOL by his flip outs. I'm like laughing out loud. And then jumping to like the speech in the office and it's like talking about her mustache and blonde and sweaters. And deep down, I hated her and couldn't stand her at the time. But now that she's gone, she means so much more. And then he says he won't let another minute go by till she knows how much he meant to her. And that's why I think like at the end, we haven't gotten to this yet, but Mike proposes to Rachel.
I feel
like,
that
all
plays
these
a lot
things
into it.
made, I
Yeah.
feel like a couple of the characters realize what they've got.
Move forwards with what they were. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the loss of Norma makes them move forward with their own lives. I think that we definitely talked about Donna Harvey a lot, and then Lewis and Norma. Does anyone have anything else about Lewis and Norma? I think
I like we said before, this was just a way to kind of get Donna to be Lewis's.
We've got Norma's ashes and
Yeah.
Lewis's.
That was a pretty ash jar.
He was like in the lamp from the motel or
Everything
whatever.
in this freaking series, like everything is on point, including the ash jar. Like it's just such great design.
Have you seen urns? Are usually on point.
The urn?
I'm not big in the urn world. Thank God.
That's what they're called, urns?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Oops. The ash jar.
I only know
I'm with you on
A
it.
cigarette tray,
Sorry, guys.
Nicole.
Sorry, guys, wrestling fan.
Jeez.
The Undertaker carries an urn. Kids learn things. Kids learn things from
I
wrestling.
have to say though, I didn't watch this particular episode live. I watched it a little after, and I looked on Twitter, and I saw the R.I.P. Norma, and I was like, no.
That's a cruel joke.
That's just they're just joking. There's no way that Norma died. And here on my paper, I've got Norma died in all caps. They see it. Norma died. We never saw her. That's what I said.
When he first said it in the office, did you get? I didn't think he was serious. I thought it was like in Lewis's way of like, she's dead, and he was going to be like, well, she called out, so she's dead to me. But I was like, oh, this is. It kept going.
I
And
thought
I was like, oh,
It's real.
whoever she was caretaking for, which is why she was gone, was the one that was sick.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
like, wait a second, is it the one who was sick?
Yeah, kind of.
Nope,
How did she
it was Norma. Now
Wait,
there's...
so one little detail which we didn't talk about, what I thought was fantastic, when Harvey goes to see Whittle at the grocery store and he says, "Here's my card, call me." He gives him a Monopoly
Yes,
get
I
out of
did.
jail free
That
card,
was-
which I thought was
Awesome.
fantastic. Because when he was handing it to him, I said out loud, I was like, "Oh, Harvey has like little orange business
Yeah.
cards. That's interesting."
Clever.
And then he turns it around. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah,
Loved it.
That is very Harvey. That is definitely a Harvey
Yeah.
thing. Let's move on to Jessica. Because we only got a little bit of Jessica in this episode.
Yeah, poor Jessica.
yeah, I feel bad. For her,
That
of
scene that
course.
they had when she was, I believe she was leaving the office, and they like panned the liquor, and she like
Oh,
looks
yes.
at it, and she's like,
And then she just grabs it. Right? Yeah.
I'll just leave. I was like, yeah, I probably would do the same thing.
But I do love...
Contemplate.
My favorite was the scene with Harvey and Jessica talking about... Harvey came to Jessica
The
for
flashback.
advice. And Jessica said, my mind's not right.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're coming to me to help you make your mind right,
It's not gonna work.
I
gonna
can't
be
because my
blinds leading the blind right here, guys.
Yeah.
And what a wild moment to see two very powerful people not being able to access
Yeah.
their power.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the first times we've seen her in that light, and I was just
The love does you.
Yeah, I mean, oof.
It's all about the love. These two, and then I like that she says something along the lines of like, just don't make the same mistake I did with Jeff about Donna. You know, if you really like, if your heart's in it, go for it, kind of thing. I don't remember the exact words,
But yeah.
but that's something she said to Harvey.
That's important, and he ultimately went with it.
I feel like everybody in the office is sort of rooting for Donna and Harvey. No, who
Yeah.
would be the one that
Lewis doesn't
Yeah.
want
But
them
that's like
together.
a Ross and Rachel. Like, that's how you end the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, such a good reference. I love Brian.
Though
But
I love
speaking of Mike
Donna
and
and Harvey,
Rachel.
but there are no Ross and Rachel.
So
Oh.
Mike and Rachel aren't Ross Rachel. Mike,
We can.
Ross and Rachel. But because we haven't talked about the proposal, guys.
Do you think that was on purpose?
What?
Aaron Korsh, was that on purpose?
Oh, we
What?
can find out.
The
The
Her-
Ross and Rachel.
like,
Make Ross and
yeah.
Rachel.
Probably.
Oh, wow.
Look what we
I don't think
found.
so. I will.
Think?
I actually will say. Last week we had a little speculation about, over the course of next season, the law firm's name will change because every numbered season the law firm name has changed in the past 4 seasons. And I jokingly said maybe it'll be Specter, Pearson Specter lit Ross. And somebody in the comments, and this was days ago before everything happened, they said, yeah, if we flashed forward a couple years and that is the name of the law firm, it will be Ross, but because it's Rachel Ross.
Ooh.
Oh, that's good.
Actually, but I just now realized her name is Rachel Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on certain forums, it'll be Ross, Rachel. That'll be
Yeah.
That's
weird for
really.
American
what's-
That'd be
TV
really weird
junkies.
for
Yeah.
Friends fans.
As soon as he put the ring on her, I go, up, now the dad's going to find out about Mike. And,
Yep,
And,
that's where I am too.
and then
Oh, I
my
didn't know
boyfriend who watches was like, no way. That's never happened.
has to
He's
happen.
never going to find out. And I was
Oh.
like, Me and my panel would beg to differ.
All of our voices got higher.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was Granny's ring
I
Yep.
know
that she
that
wore
was
for
good.
60 years, and she goes, "I'll wear it just as long."
Yeah,
I know.
she said it
All
every day.
right.
Oh, I loved that quote.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And the song playing under The Empty Northern Hemisphere by George Alan Isakov.
oh, I love their music.
I'm sort of crying in my notes.
I was-
I kind
I
of
may have
teared.
shed a
You
tear.
teared up.
I teared up a little.
I didn't
It was
tear
more
up, but
the-
I was getting some chills
He straight
going
up.
on.
He was like on the floor.
I lost. I had a pause.
But it was the straight up combination of the Norma, and then we went pretty quick into the Mike and into the Mike and Rachel of it all. That it was a
They both
combination.
looked real good this episode too. I mean, they always do. But I don't know. You know, that you could tell that something was about to go down with them.
Love does that too.
Especially, yeah. There's been a lot of good chemistry between them leading up to this proposal. I think
Yeah.
And it's
a lot more
it's-
lovey-dovey.
It's about time.
Yeah.
And now Mike mentioned he had to get the ring cleaned, and that took a little bit of time. So did he plan this before? Did like the Norma of it all just trigger that without Lewis's
I think
speech?
so.
It doesn't take that long to clean a ring,
Fair
so
enough.
I think
To purchase
it could have been
I
that
think
day.
we'll-
Well, it was his grandmom's ring,
Right,
so
so
he already
yeah.
had the ring.
I think he could have been thinking about it or knowing it's going in this direction.
Exactly.
I think the Norm was just like set him off
Sped
to
it
like,
up.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. This is the time.
Yeah, he's pretty sensitive
That
about
he-
that kind of stuff too.
that he might have had a
you know.
bigger, grander plan of like, I'm going to do this. And then sometime in the future, where it's like the Norma of it all in Lewis's speech made him like, I'm going to do this tonight. I don't care.
And
Like,
what the
they're-
perfect night she had it all set up.
I
She
know.
had- she was like,
They were in sync.
They were,
They knew.
yeah.
They knew what was going
man.
on. And we already said about how we've now have Donna going to Lewis, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, just
We-
woo.
And that was the big
Crazy.
bombshell that ended this episode, that Donna's going to go work with Lewis because Donna loves him, and that's how she left it. Mm-hmm. And it was very clear the way Donna said that she loves Harvey is that she wants to be in a romantic relationship with Harvey.
Yeah.
And whether or not that's what Harvey wants at his core, he's not going to allow that to happen. So she's not going to sit at his desk and let it eat her up inside.
Here's my thing with
must be
this.
hard.
Do you guys think, how long is this going to last? That she's away from Harvey and she's over at Lewis's? I mean,
I think at least a season.
A season.
Wow.
I was gonna say.
I was gonna
I
say
think
an
it's
episode.
a
An
great way to
episode.
switch
That's-
things
I'm on your
up.
page.
No, because I think it's a great way to switch things up because where do we take storylines? So it'll be a nice little contrast.
And
to
it's a
have.
good place to put her.
Yeah.
And that's a weird way to word it, but it's a good
Who's
place.
going to replace her?
yeah.
That's what I
I'm
wanna
gonna,
know.
whoever it is, I'm going to hate, no
Is it-
matter what.
yeah,
I'm not
I
like,
who can
just
replace
telling you
her?
now.
And then what if this random new character comes in and like Harvey falls in love with
No.
her?
No.
I will not let it
Not a
happen.
chance.
I'm jumping to conclusions.
I would
I-
hate that.
They won't
Oh.
put vanilla in his coffee.
Oh.
He's like,
I
I don't
don't
have
know.
that. She's like, you will
Yeah.
soon.
I have to say I
awesome.
love vanilla and hazelnut mixed together.
I
It
would
made
hope
me want to
that-
go get it today. I'm
I would
like,
hope that
need
if once
to-
they start season 5, some time will have passed, and whoever's at that desk will have been like the third or fourth person. That
Yeah,
like
that no one's working out.
that like no one is working out, and I'd be
That's a good.
That would
good
be-
thought.
Donna jealousy.
ooh,
she's
She
gonna
could get
she's gonna get-
like competitive.
eventually.
No
but
one
I
can
think
compete with Donna,
Yeah,
though.
like,
I mean,
Clearly, but
True.
what if like
That
that's
they
what
bring
they'll
it
do?
in
They'll
and they're,
bring
like,
in somebody whose game is
top
almost
notch.
as
Oh
good.
man.
or but if
She'll
it's
be
like
mad.
or if
Yeah.
every week it's a different assistant because nobody can be Donna and Harvey keeps firing them.
Didn't we have that in a season when Donna was like going through her troubles? Wasn't there like a temp fill-in
There
or
was-
something
yeah,
like
there was a
that?
temp that just
and there was
couldn't keep up.
and yeah, he couldn't keep
Yeah.
up. So I wonder if they're gonna have to do the opposite, which is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We'll
Oh
see.
guys, come on.
I know.
Oh,
It hurts
I
inside.
don't know how Donna's gonna be able to handle Lewis 24/7.
Yeah.
she's
Oh,
not.
she can. But she knows how to work it.
And I think he
Yeah.
treats her
Handle
differently
whoever.
than everybody else. The
Right.
way he's,
Yeah.
Lewis to them, and then to her, it's like this, like very personal. As he said when they're like sitting down, he's like, "But we are, we have
Yeah.
something."
Imagine he like makes a move on her and then she's like, "Okay, I
That's-
immediately
Oh,
regret this
man.
decision."
Could
happen.
That's gonna take a whole season, but that's gonna happen.
Could happen.
That has to happen.
Makes him
I think
move on.
Lewis could be
'Cause
confused by this. Yeah, I think he
Lewis
could
is
think,
in love with her.
Yeah.
Like not
Well,
on a
it's so
professional
clear,
level.
too.
It's incredibly clear. Like he had a look there that was just like he's in love with her.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he connects with many people.
He cried
So when
so
you
much
find
this
someone like
episode.
this,
That, like
They speak the
Yeah.
same language.
Yeah, they
They
speak
both
the-
love Shakespeare.
yeah.
And I think,
Yeah.
but I can almost see him resigning to the fact that I'm in love with this person so much that if she's on my desk, that's better than
Yeah.
better than nothing.
Exactly.
And not a like, oh, I'll win her over. Just to no, she'll be on my desk. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
I guess I'll never get exactly what I want. But if she's on my desk and we're working together 80 hours a week, that's still pretty good.
Well, I love that Harvey was like, "You're not quitting. You're not leaving here." She's like, "I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be Lewis's assistant." And that I feel like was even more of a burn.
Yeah.
You know, especially with the tears. Those tears.
Oh
they
my
got
gosh!
me. I
Again,
loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I wanted him to
crying.
run after. I was like, "Run, Harvey, get
Yeah,
here!"
go get your
And then I
woman.
kept going, and I saw the time, and I'm like, "No, no!" And then it ended.
He doesn't. Do you think he's the type of guy that would run
No,
after?
no.
Clearly
Like,
no, and I'm
even no
disappointed.
matter how much that woman.
No.
No, not the type. He's just gonna let that fester inside of him for a very long time until it comes out at the worst time.
I would love to see him though, like eventually next season, like just grab her and kiss her and be like,
Have
"I
the
love you,"
moment.
and like
Yeah.
whenever that happens, I'm gonna be so happy.
Hopefully, her moving to be with Lewis will make him see. Like, what's the saying? Like, always, like, you want what you can't have. So maybe when she's gone, this will make him feel like time to do it.
Possibly.
Harvey, get it right. That's
Right?
what
Get
I
it
feel.
together.
Yeah, shoot.
Darby.
Well,
That's
Darby.
happening.
I just feel like she
Darby.
can't ever be his assistant though in a relationship with him.
No, not at
Right.
all.
That's why maybe this Lewis thing will work out. I just don't. We need to see the Harvey assistant. We need to see like a new Donna. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think we're
Predictions.
to
I
predictions.
mean, we kind of predicted a lot already.
Yeah, we have.
And now,
Yeah.
I want to hear you had a prediction earlier. I'm
Yeah,
excited
Wait,
to hear
I gotta
this.
remember it.
Oh gosh, please.
okay.
Okay.
Let's start with Nicole. Nicole seems to have a lot of.
Okay. I just predict with Rachel, like I said it last week, that she will move up and eventually become a lawyer at the firm. But I also think now that she's engaged, there's got to be something during this engagement that is going to like be dramatic and something to throw in, you know what I mean? Because I don't think next season, the first episode, they're getting married, right? I think this engagement might ride out a bit.
Either or.
And something will interfere. I don't know what that thing's going to be.
Well, I think you kind of said it in a way, or one of you guys said
Right. Her moving up and maybe getting a little bit up of a level above Mike. That might cause controversy in
be
the
weird.
engagement, something along those lines.
Or even her dad finding
Right,
out
and then
being
her
like,
dad
"You're not
has to."
marrying a fraud. It's not going to happen."
Exactly.
Yeah. I think Daddy's gonna find out for sure.
Yeah.
has
I
to.
think Donna and Harvey we won't see together fully together until the end of the show itself. I do think that the Lewis and Donna situation will last close to, if not a whole season. Wow. Sorry.
Okay, I'm going to contradict you on that. I'm going to go with what I'm hoping and predicting, and it's that it will last one episode.
Yeah.
And
It's not gonna
And
last
Harvey and
long.
Donna
I don't
will
think
have
it
lots
will.
of babies.
Yep, and they move away. No, so I really think they're going to end up. I need them to end up together.
Yeah.
So I think that's. I say 1-2 episodes if you're pushing it. No more than that.
What if Donna also, one more thing, met another guy to like pursue her feelings, interests, like that kind of Harvey like butts head with? Or
We've
something
seen
like
I
that
don't like
before
this.
though
I
too.
don't like
We've seen that before when she that fraud of a guy.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
yeah.
And Harvey
So-
did not like him.
No,
So definitely Daddy Zane. Daddy Zane's,
I think that's going to happen.
Daddy Zane's gonna find out by the end of season. Probably
What if he doesn't?
that could be the cliffhanger
We're all
of.
like, yes.
That could be the cliffhanger of mid-season 5. Is that everything's going along swimmingly? Like the engagement is
Yeah.
a long-term plot of like they're planning a wedding, and everything that's like in the background, and like that's a season 5 cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't.
I hope
We're
we
probably
see
going to
Beautiful
see Jeff.
Rain.
We're going to see more Jeff Malone. I don't know where. I think he's either going to be at a competing law firm or back at the SEC. We're going to see more of him, and yeah, Lewis is. I think Lewis's feelings for Donna are going to bubble over by the end of season 5 as well, and it's going to be unbearable for him. And they're either going to get together, or he's going to drive her.
They are not
Wow.
together.
Keep a straight face.
I just
been-
think that he's gonna
couldn't
put
do
the
it.
wrong move on her.
It's been almost a year, guys. This is what I've been facing. If you're watching this from the future where that happened,
No.
remember I'm the only right one in the room.
It's like an
No.
alternate universe.
We're in the multiverse where Lewis winds up with Donna.
I never want to go there.
I ultimately think Lewis is going to come on too strong at the wrong time and drive Donna to Harvey.
As he does to everybody. When he's like getting the
Exactly.
cake for Mike and stuff, it's like, chill, slow your roll.
Yeah.
No, I
Very
like
true.
him. I don't mind being so negative. I like him.
But yeah, those are all some great predictions.
Yeah.
We're going to see you guys either in May or June, and I'm guessing solely on when the summer premiere happens for Suits. It's happened in May. It's happened in June. When we know, we'll tweet at you.
Yeah.
Nick, where can the people find you on Twitter?
You guys can find me at Nicholas Grava on Twitter and Instagram.
You guys can find me on Twitter at thefancyhippie or on thefancyhippie.com.
You guys can find me at Nicole Brajer on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you name it.
Yeah.
And you guys can find me only on Twitter at Steve Kaufmann. That's Kaufmann, and I do a lot of shows here that I tweet about all the time. Thank you guys so much. See you next season.
We'll see you guys.
Bye!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.